Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to join Judith and Hannah this afternoon, two former students who have gone on to make moving and inspiring work since we worked together in school. Thank you both for asking me to join this conversation. As Hannah mentioned, I make work through a range of time based forms through listening and attuning to the emotions and histories of particular sites and public spaces, tuning it to change over time. These explorations into a sense of place and sense of presence include performances, site interventions, films, texts, and walks, either on my own or collective and choreographed. I find intervention sites outside and alongside established art systems, enlarging the idea of the exhibition and its relation to the public. I walk, as Hannah mentioned. Much of my work comes from walking in neighborhoods around San Francisco and cities I have visited. A major joy of being on the faculty at CCA is that I align my teaching and my work. Last spring semester, I taught a walking class. We explored how the practice of walking can be used as an artistic form, walking separately and, as Hannah mentioned, meeting virtually. I had the great pleasure of having Hannah in my virtual class, and it's wonderful to see, Hannah, how your walking practice has evolved and developed and moved into Judith's social VR space. It is important to tie our virtual spaces to the historic lands we inhabit. Thank you, Judith and Hannah, for acknowledging the indigenous lands we now inhabit.
Mm,
While
thank you.
teaching this past spring, I collaborated again with the San Francisco Girls Chorus. I had worked with them previously in 2019 in a live choral performance in San Francisco's St. Ignatius Church as part of a larger intervention inside the church. The girls, age 11 to 16, sang of their relationships to their mothers in a libretto based on their words, written in collaboration with the poet Denise Newman. As the girls moved through the space of the church, they sang. Judith also participated using her somersaulting practice to roll with her then 3-year-old daughter Mio down the aisles of the nave and around the altar of the church, making a path outlining the contours of where the girls would later sing. The idea of missing tenderness framed the exhibition. Other collaborations and installations that took place inside the church involved women of all ages, including Grannies Respond, Abdullah's respondent, who were protesting the family separation policy at the Mexican border, and women from La Casa de las Madres, a San Francisco organization that provides support to survivors of domestic violence. Absence, attuning to what has gone missing, is still the touchstone of the work that I continue to do today. During the COVID pandemic this past spring, I also worked with the San Francisco Girls Chorus who practice on Zoom. Their director, Anne Hagee, who I had worked with in 2019, and I wanted to introduce the girls to the idea of an ongoing practice, a place based practice. Each of the 22 girls in the level 4 course chose a place to return to over and over again over the course of 6 months. We met weekly on Zoom. The girls spent time in their chosen places. First, they only listened. Then, eventually, they took notes. Then, they collected objects. They chose a color that represented their place. Finally, they recorded sounds and video. From a libretto, from their language, Denise Newman and I collaborated again on the libretto, and the girls collectively composed the music and sang. We'll now watch video document, which is a record of their time apart and together. Let's go to the site that Judith will put in the chat to watch
Mm-hmm.
an excerpt of the video, Listen to the World Waking.
Thank you so much, Lynn. So now it's gonna be a little bit dark, and then Lynn's video will load. If it doesn't load properly, please refresh the page, and it should load for you. So
Would you put that where we're going in the chat? Oh, oh, oh.
I thought I'd always be a little seed, but I started to grow.
At first, my breath felt free,
Carried
carried myself from far
reminds me of you. Pretend I hear the ocean. Pretend I hear the ocean, but I don't.
The ocean.
But I don't.
Pretend I hear the ocean, but I don't.
Hearing myself from far away. You cricket.
This place, why did I choose this place?
This place.
Hey, footsteps, stepping up by. Keep the you across
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.